Hello, I'm Conrad Bain.
And I'm Dion.
Tonight,
On the show,
we're showing the concluding half of a special two-part show on a very sensitive and important subject.
That's right, Conrad.
We urge families, children and parents alike, to watch this informative episode and then discuss the problem presented, which is of deep concern to all of us.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Dating relationships.
We should
He's
call
always
this show
dating.
Dion's
Dating life. Every story has to do with I used to date this girl a long time ago. But he never references anyone else. It's always Dion's dating story.
I'm just trying to get
Everybody, for every show, there will be a Dion.
Dion, I don't mean to
story.
disappoint you, but when you started talking, my mic just went.
Wow.
it committed suicide.
Wow.
And
Go
ladies
ahead.
and gentlemen, it is time for Dion's dating story. Dion,
let's set
please
the music.
continue.
Anyway, so I used to date a young lady, and y'all are the worst. Anyway, so we was dating. We did our thing.
How old were you?
Probably
If you don't mind me
18,
asking.
maybe.
Okay, so you were young.
Yeah, maybe even 17. Anywho, so we dated, we stopped dating, we were still cool. So she met some guy online, and he promised her the world. She wasn't attracted to dude at all. This is what she tells me. She wasn't attracted to dude at all. But dude had money, and he promised her the world. So whatever, she started dating him. So eventually, she ended up moving in with the dude. Ended up really thinking like one of these ladies were talking about, like yo, I can get this money, like my man making money. Ended up having 2 children by my man.
Wow.
For the money.
No.
And this is a real life situation. I'm not making this up. This is the end result. After she had these kids, after they've lived together so many years, she ended up borderline going crazy. She ended up on a bunch of drugs like Prozac and what have you. I don't know, a bunch of different drugs. Because she would wake up and lie to herself every day. Like, okay, I love this man. I want to be with this man. But she only did it for the money. But she was so far into the rabbit hole having these 2 children.
Wait, how do you have children with somebody you don't?
Because she moved in with him. She ended up being with him for the money.
Right, and I can see that. Okay, so I'm going to be with you for the money. I don't think I would let it get to the point where I'm going to bring life into this world because that is a commitment.
No.
That's
You
what
can't
they're
even say that.
doing.
You can't say that.
That's a commitment.
That's the game. First of all,
But
that's the
that's-
conversation we're having.
Right?
Oh
That's
my
the
God.
game. You have these babies to secure the money for the future.
Right, but that doesn't mean you don't love the person.
But that I'm glad you said that because she said she does love him. She grew to love him.
Right.
She didn't even like him. She wasn't attracted to him. It was hard for her to look at him every day. And to break it down even further than that, she was, not to put a business out there, and not to get too much detail, but she was a young white lady who was attracted to black guys, sexy black gentlemen like myself.
Oh, no.
But the dude was an old white dude. So she didn't even have my.
Oh, you mean like an Anna Nicole Smith type thing?
No, he wasn't that old. No. No, he wasn't that old. She was in her 20s. He was probably in her 40s. He was in his 40s. Not like that, but it tripped me out because of this. Because I seen her maybe 10 years ago. Before that, it's been a few years, but I seen her. And I was talking to her, and I was bringing up, like, reminiscing, yo, remember when we did such and such? And she couldn't even remember because the drugs she was on, because of her, her mind changed. She wasn't the same person because she was lying to herself every single day to be with this dude. She ended up having to get on certain drugs, psychiatry, You give me a word. I'm sure you got 1,000.
Mental.
Oh, there you go. It's a simple one. But she ended up getting on all these drugs to maintain her.
Psychological drugs.
Yes.
There you go.
Psychotropic.
Yes, there it is. She ended up getting all these drugs to live her daily life. How crazy is that? It's a real life situation. I'll put that on anything that's a real story.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of Dion dating story.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you all for listening. I
How
hope
you know
we
that
still have
she
you
wasn't
all with
psychologically
us
messed
at
up
this point.
before?
She wasn't. She was messed
You
up
don't know
because
that?
of dude. Listen,
He was
I
with
knew
her.
her before. And I know what she said. She told me, dude, I ended up on all these. I don't know.
Is she still with the fella?
I don't want to give out too much information, but check the wild stuff. Ooh, hope she don't hear this show.
Apparently, ladies and gentlemen, we weren't done with
Part
Beyond
two.
Dating Story.
This is crazy. It gets
Part
so
two.
real. It
Part
gets so
two.
real. So check the fly-ish, right? So she had these 2 kids with the dude. She ended up cheating on dude with the black dude. It don't really matter that he's black, but that's what she was attracted to. She ended up cheating on dude with the black dude, left the husband, ended up dealing with the dude, got pregnant by the dude.
The black dude.
The black dude. The dude ain't really want to deal with her. So she had another child by the guy. So now she's trying to fend for 4 children because she had a first son. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I got to do this because this is the Red Room Radio Show, baby.
This
Let's
is very
go.
confusing.
Long story short, she cheated on her husband with a guy. The guy didn't want her. She got pregnant. So now she was sitting with 4 children in some 1-bedroom apartment, right? Then her husband, her ex-husband, calls her up like, yo, how are you? What's going on? I'll make sure my kid's good. How are you? Ends up going back to the dude. But my man welcomed him back. I guess because he got 2 kids with her. He ended up welcoming her back, into his life. So now she got 4 kids. 2 by the husband. 2 by the husband. 1 that she already had, and then 1 by the dude she cheated on the husband with.
Right.
But the husband is raising the kids.
Yeah, and she's there.
Meal ticket.
D-block.
I
That's
don't think
crazy.
it's meal ticket. I think
That's
I
crazy.
think it might have started as a meal ticket. She grew to love this man, and then she said to herself, "No, I really don't want this." And when she went outside that door and saw it's a cold, cold world, she came back in from outside.
That was the meal ticket, 100%.
Unintended
She
consequence.
she went to him because he had money.
Right. But after, like you said, she grew to love him. And then let's say a couple years later, she said, no. People start thinking.
She grew to love him.
Right.
Because you will grow to love anybody you deal with for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Who told you that?
Absolutely.
No. You will
some
love
aspects of the
You may
relationship.
not
you're
be
gonna
in love
fall
with
in
them, but you will
She
love
wasn't
them.
in love with him, but she loved him.
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
give her no more of that
She
wine.
came inside from Nicole. How about that?
Somebody came inside of her
Oh,
hole.
man.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, enough of Dion's dating story.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Question. What happens when the man has money and the wife has money, but yet the man is still paying an enormous amount of child support every month?
You have an example?
Russell Simmons.
Oh, he pays $40,000.
He pays $40,000 a month.
But he agreed to that.
I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying what happens when you both are well off
or
and
unfair?
you're
Because
still
I
paying.
said, because I think again, that's why I said I
enormous
think
amount.
it becomes an issue of the standard of a custom of their living.
No.
But she can provide that living because you are both at pretty much the same level.
No,
Hell, she probably
he's
makes
still
more
at a
than
higher.
him.
No, he's still at a higher level.
Well, whatever. Still, however, whatever. You're both still very high
Right.
up on that level to where she can provide her children that lifestyle without him in the picture at all.
In other words, she could do fine by her damn.
Exactly.
Right.
So why is it that he needs to pay her? I'm not saying he disputed it, but why does he need to pay
Because
her
it's-
$40,000 a month?
because
And not
it's-
because it's two. No.
It's two, no. Hear me. It's two people that help create these beings, not a one.
I'm
person.
not, but
No,
that's
that
not
ain't-
what
that
I'm
ain't- that
saying,
ain't what it
Keon.
is.
I'm not saying he doesn't have to do his part, but where you started off by saying, these people have to pay these enormous amounts because they're trying to live the lifestyle that their kids are used to because of whether it's the mother or the father does. So if these kids have this lifestyle, the mother's not getting this money to make them accustomed to this life or to provide them this lifestyle. They already have it. So where does this $40,000 play? Where does this
to
come in at?
maintain it. To
She can maintain it herself.
Her damn self.
She don't need his money to maintain
But
it.
if they were together still, he would be maintaining it.
She does not need him to maintain it, though, is what I'm saying. whether they're not together. She does not need him to maintain it.
Hypothetical. You and your significant other. Shout out to Queens.
Shout out Queensbridge.
If for whatever reason you separated and you're close to what she's suggesting, par in money, are you still going to take him to court for child support?
That's right. Pay for your child. Exactly. You helped create it.
You're not doing it for the means of the child. You're
doing it for spite.
No.
Yes, you are.
No.
You're doing it for spite.
No. Because when you have
But even if you, okay, fine, you're going to still take him because you feel that that's the way that he needs to care for his child by taking him to court for child support. Hey, that's all you. Great. Fine. But do you really need to request that he pays that much money?
No, but that for them was enough. What I'm saying is for each person.
No, we're judging what they did.
No, I'm not trying to judge.
We want you to.
Okay, well, listen. Your parents raised you together. It took the two incomes to raise you in the lifestyle that you grew up in. So
No.
Because we're average people.
I agree.
But they're not average.
So
she can maintain that lifestyle by herself.
Yes, she can. But the point is, she didn't create the kids.
It doesn't
Your
matter.
Exactly.
That's your point.
That's my point.
Forget your point.
Okay.
Answer her point.
What's her point?
But you basically just saying, listen, you put these kids, we made these kids together.
We have to raise them together.
No,
Fine.
Money ain't got nothing to do with raising anybody.
Right. Money has nothing to do with raising a child.
I was on your side.
No.
Children
But now you
cost.
That's not
That is not
raising
raising a
them,
child,
though.
it's paying for it.
Raising
That
them
doesn't
is
mean anything.
different than
That's
paying
completely
or
different than
buying
paying.
So
them
you don't
things.
think parents need to pay for children?
No.
That's not what we're
You
saying.
raising
Raising
a
a
child
child
is
has
not
nothing
the
to do with
same.
$1.
Yeah,
That's
those are two
not.
different
Those are
things.
two different things.
But you need the
It's
dollar
a
to
part.
help
Those are two
raise.
It's a
different things.
part of
Yes.
having a child. It's not a part of raising a child.
Now,
You see, Keon,
now
I was on your
I
side.
wouldn't. No, I would never say to my mate, who obviously would never be able to afford at this particular time $40,000 a month in child support. But we're not celebrities. But
I know that.
I mean, regular people money.
I'm a celebrity.
If we're making regular
My name
people
is
money,
Dion.
no,
I'm
I
from
wouldn't
the
go
Red
in there and
Room
be
Radio
like,
Show.
oh, you need to pay me $40,000 a month.
Right, but still, but my thing is, Keon, when you're on the same level as these two are.
Can I answer for Keon?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
Keon basically feels like, look, you help make this child, your ass is
I
gonna
don't have
pay.
a problem with him paying child support.
No, I know.
I'm
but
just
that's
saying.
her answer. That's her answer. She just don't want to say it like that.
But Keon, okay, there's no. I don't see an issue with him paying child support. That's not the issue. But the issue is he's not.
Keon is basically saying
this wick ain't gonna cut it.
and you paying. We're both paying the same amount because you helped make them. That's
Right.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
I think it's.
I
Crazy.
don't think he should pay an excessive amount.
I think it's
Well,
excessive.
that's what we're trying to figure
but
out.
that's what we
Yeah,
determine to be
you
excessive.
can't say that's excessive because you don't live that lifestyle.
Well,
40,000 is nothing to
to
them.
them.
That's different.
But okay, you're right. But on the other hand, even that lifestyle, $40,000 for what is it for?
It could
But
be
no,
going
no,
to
but
their
that could be her
pairs. It could be their
mortgage. Like, you have no
their,
idea.
But
their
you
But
don't
why
need a
is he
mortgage.
paying her
That's
mortgage?
what she's trying to say. She doesn't
She's
need a
on-
mortgage. She
they're
doesn't need a
on-
car.
right.
She doesn't need.
I
what-
be their
I know,
She doesn't need help buying groceries.
I know.
Yeah.
So if that's the
But
case,
Keon-
if his child support needs to go to him helping her pay for their school, then maybe $40,000 every 6 months, but not every
No.
month.
But
You'll be
Keon
very
is
surprised.
saying,
Some of these private
But
schools
Keon,
are very
I'm not
expensive.
saying that that's how it really goes. I'm just saying as an
Can
example,
I already told- I'm
$40,000 a
answering for Keon.
month is a little much if we're both on the same level. Is all I'm saying. That's it.
but you can't even say that. You can't really say that because they could be both on the same level, and $40,000 is still $40,000.
what,
Okay, listen, Kimora Lee could have 6 properties all over America.
Nothing to do with him, right? Nothing to do with the kids.
But she wants to make sure her children are diverse and they go from hood to hood,
But
project
now
to
we're excessive.
But
That's excessive
but
for
no,
you.
exactly.
No,
What
even
Keon
courts
is,
recognize reasonable.
no.
Well,
what Keon-
obviously, if they gave her $40,000, they think
No,
it's
because
reasonable.
like you said, they agreed upon it. So if there's no reason to fight, why fight?
Right. So to him, It's not excessive.
It's not excessive.
but
That's-
Government.
I'm rolling with my twin.
Miss Colorado,
Colorado was asking the question, what do you think about it?
I've said I don't think it's excessive
Okay.
if they're saying it's par and par. I'm not going to say it's excessive for somebody like Kimura and Russell because obviously
Their lifestyle is
their
different.
lifestyle is
you
different.
have no idea
He
what that
haven't-
money
That's the thing. Yes, their lifestyle is different, but her lifestyle is not beneath his. Do you see what I'm saying?
No,
I'm with you.
Do you see
No.
what I'm saying?
I'm with you, 100%.
no.
Yes.
Hers is not beneath his. They're on the same level. I get that they agreed, but say they hadn't agreed. Say they
So let me ask
hadn't
you a
agreed.
question.
Who's to step in and say, wait a minute, you bring in just as much as he does? I'm not saying she
Okay.
does, but I'm just
Let
saying.
me ask you a question.
That 40,000 a month,
Okay.
maybe 40,000 every 2 months.
Let me ask you a
But a
question.
month?
Hold on. Okay. So we both bring in the same amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
So Miss Colorado, you should use more of your money because you're raising the children
I'm not.
than I should use.
That's not what I'm
That's
saying.
what you're saying.
No.
You're saying why should Russell Simmons pay more if they both make the same amount of money?
No, what I'm
so
saying
what you're
is-
saying is that you should pay more than him.
No,
to raise
that's
him.
not what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is if we're both on the same level, if he has to pay child support, there's nothing wrong with that. I get it. But $40,000 for what? Not for the lifestyle.
but you
because
don't-
she
you
can. It's not like they don't have that lifestyle. Is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They have the lifestyle. You're not paying to keep up the lifestyle. The lifestyle is there. There's nothing to keep up. There's nothing to make. There's nothing more to bring. It's there. It's been there. It's not going anywhere, especially now. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's not even in the picture. Even now with their new stepdaddy, it definitely ain't going
So, I
anywhere.
mean,
but what I'm saying is we both
I hear
live
you.
the same lifestyle. We're both on the same level. So again, the amount of the 40,000 is not to maintain this because it's not going anywhere.
And we
is
don't
what I'm
know if
saying.
the 40 grand is going
You don't
into
know
a
their
bank
lifestyle.
account just for them.
That's true too.
But I'm
not
not
even
saying
being
it's
touched
not.
on.
But I'm saying the conversation was you kept saying maybe the excessive amounts are to maintain these lifestyles because the baby's mamas feel that
It's
these kids need to
possible.
have the lifestyle that they're used to. So what I'm saying in this situation, if that lifestyle was already there, it's already being maintained, then why the
No. It's
excessive
not
amount?
being maintained. It's not being maintained until you maintain it. Kimora Lee ain't doing nothing right now. I don't even think Russell's doing something. But what's Kimora Lee doing right now?
She just started a whole new clothing line.
Yeah,
did
she
she?
just stepped down
and the
from
new
Just
Y'all got-
beauty
y'all- y'all got a
products.
pair of
Yeah,
jeans from her?
and
She-
she just
no.
stepped down from Just
She
Fab.
sold Baby Fat.
She sold
To
Baby
who?
Fat.
Don't nobody
She's-
want that?
No, she sold
She
it for
sold it
a
years
hefty
ago.
amount.
You got a pair of baby fat jeans?
years ago. She sold that.
Miss
10
Keon,
years
do you have a
ago.
pair of baby fat jeans?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, whether the two of us don't, 1,000 and a million people did. People, I mean,
Yes.
somebody bought. I don't know the exact amount, but they bought that
I think
company
it's-
for a pretty hefty
You know,
penny.
I think it's different when you're talking about two people with money, because we don't know what the matter of fact. Shaq a couple years ago, I don't even remember the exact number, but it was something like he was paying $80,000 in I don't know if it was cable or just electricity, period, for all his homes, because he had so many homes. But he wasn't living in them. So every year he was paying out his money because the electricity was on.
So why the hell is the electricity on if you ain't living in there?
That was his life. That was his. He eventually fixed the problem because that's how we knew about it. But that was his life. He had all these
But
homes.
that's what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying. We don't know what their lifestyle is to say $40,000 is too much
I'm
money
not
or not
saying
enough
it
money.
is, but I'm saying it's where what I'm saying is we're on the same level. It's not to maintain the lifestyle. The lifestyle is there. I'm not bringing
if we're
you
on the same
up.
level, and when I believe if we're on the same exact level and you're raising my children, I need to give you something.
No.
I'm not saying not.
If we're on the same level, why are you spending all your money on the children?
That's not what I'm saying either. I think you guys are taking it the wrong way.
completely
I'm not
confused.
saying he shouldn't be paying child support at all. I'm not saying she should be paying more. All I'm saying is whatever amount he's paying monthly, Is it too much if we're on the same level? Why can't it be something equal? If they say they didn't agree on it or whatever the case may be, because we are on the same level. Before the conversation was, they're doing it to maintain. They want these children to have this lifestyle. These kids already have the lifestyle in their mother's home. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he shouldn't pay child support.
It's harder that way because we don't know their lifestyle. Let's say they go to some exclusive elementary school where it's $25,000 a month. Like, we don't know. It's easier to say when you have a Chris Brown and you have some chick from the projects that got pregnant. But
that's why I asked the question.
Shout out to the project.
Shout out to the PJs.
That's why my original question was, what does it mean when he's paying the $40,000 a month, but yet you have these two people who were on the same level? That was my question.
That means he got it because he ain't complaining about it. Or he feels like his kids need it or should have it. Now, Chris Brown, on the other hand, right now he's feeling like either his kids don't need it, they shouldn't have it, or he don't want to pay it because that's why we know about it. That's why he fought it. I think that's the thing.
And it could be government. You made a very great point. Some men do go back and, whatever. This Colorado. Some men go back, right? There was a man who was paying $40,000 a month, Beyonce's daddy. And then he went back to the court and had it reduced down to $2,500 because his income no longer supported that amount.
Right.
So, I guess as you said, they do base it on income. So if you're no longer at that level, then we'll adjust it to match the rate of which you're getting. So once they were done with Mr. Knowles, he was down to $2,500, which most of you would probably say
$2,500.
Yeah, from $40,000.
From $40,000 to $2,500.
Yes, which means now remember at the time, which you guys would probably say $2,500 is what the average amount that somebody might pay
a month.
Yeah,
No,
that's still expensive.
That's
Okay,
absolutely.
well. When he was making $40,000, remember, he was Beyonce's manager. So you take that into account. If he's getting 10% or 15% of her earnings, that $40,000 was probably a drop in the bucket based upon the earnings.
So let me ask you a dumb question. According to what we've been discussing for the past 5, if they're accustomed to a lifestyle and the father now has a reduced in income, so what happened to that lifestyle?
Well, this child wasn't accustomed to the lifestyle.
We bumped him up definitely when we started giving him $40,000 a month.
No, he never got the 40. The judge had ordered the 40.
Okay.
And before the payments could come out, Mr. Knowles went to the court to say, hey, I'm not making the same amount of money that I was when you first decreed this. Okay. This is what I'm making now. Because remember, it all kind of happened around the same time. Okay. So when Beyonce fired him or no longer used him as her manager, the lady had filed the lawsuit. So all they could go off of is his tax documents from the previous year. Well, then he says, well, sir, I'm no longer making that kind of money. Here's my contract of what I'm making now. And the judge says, okay, we will reduce what we have first decreed at $40,000 based upon the estimate of what we knew you were making or thought you were making to what you actually are coming in here with to this amount. So you will be written as $2,800. Now, the woman could argue, no, I want my child to grow up the way Beyonce and Solange did. Well, she's out of luck because he doesn't have that.
You're making a great argument because you're saying right now that same child that was about to get $40,000 is now going to have to settle for $25,000
because that's all he has.
But forget what he has. That means that's all that's required to raise the child. Or then you send Mr. Knowles out to go get another daughter and make more money. Huh?
That's a good point.
Right.
That's a great point. Great point.
So going back to the 40, how about we reduce them to 25? You don't think they can make it?
I'm not saying they couldn't. Obviously, their parents have decided they want to keep them in the lifestyle in which they've grown accustomed.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
That dude.
Yo.
So you have 2 children.
I do.
You're married.
I am.
So heaven forbid you and your wife separated.
Heaven forbid.
And you got custody of the children.
Yes.
Would you ask for child support?
Never, ever.
You wouldn't ask for no child support?
No, unless I'm hurting. Why would I? I would expect the woman that I chose as a mate right? Loved with all my heart for a long period of time until the divorce. Probably still loved her, right? Would think these are my kids. I'm going to support if I need to support. That's why none of this argument makes sense. Again, coming from a humble beginning, I know it doesn't require that amount of money, even with a private school. Even with a private school, I think you can still do better than what they're putting out at $40,000 in child support.
Interesting.
Dion, let me ask you a question.
Yeah, I was just about to bring in his.
In your relationship, you were married. Y'all had a dog. You got custody of the dog because y'all ain't having no kids. Would you take her to court for child support?
Nah, I wouldn't either. I'll just fend for my children to handle my business. And like he said, if you want to pay something, pay something. And ultimately, I probably wouldn't even take it. But honestly, I wouldn't ask for it.
So you don't think that child support should ever be sought?
No, it definitely should be sought. I'm just talking about me.
When you're talking about the level that we're talking about, I don't think so. I think you're responsible enough to know what your kids' needs are, and you provide for them. Point blank, right? If what's the name? Lil Wayne go out and buy his daughter a Ferrari because he think that's what she should have, then go buy a Ferrari. If Mrs. X
But
Simmons
your child sure does not need
don't
that to
need
survive on a daily basis.
they don't need it. But again, it takes away that whole putting them in your business where now you're mandated to pay $40,000.
Yeah, but if someone comes to me and we have a child, and I don't know, Dion, you can speak because you have a child, and you only buying birthday presents and you forget about school year and school supplies and doctor's office visits.
Well, that's different. Then of course you would go.
But
and
I'm saying,
request
but that's
it.
what I think. Why some parents or people, whether male or female, go to the courts because they're not getting, as you say, the customary or what you would assume is the automatic. Here you go.
I think it's
You
more
raising my
vindictive.
kid. Here go $400 for you this month.
I think
you
it's
understand.
more-
It might be $400 this month and then $0 for 7 months or 8 months.
No, I think it's done and used more for spite than anything else.
No, I don't. I disagree.
I wouldn't say more than anything else, but I think it's a good chunk. I think probably a little more than 50%, if not 50%.
No, I wouldn't give him that
Oh
much
yeah,
credit.
I would.
A lot of people
No
do it
doubt.
for spite. Oh
No
yeah,
doubt.
definitely.
I would.
No doubt.
Definitely.
So, if you don't mind getting personal, Dion, the child you have, do you pay child
That's
support?
none of your business. No, I'm just kidding.
Or do you do what you do? Y'all have your own agreement worked out without having to get the courts involved.
We handle our business. We handle our business, but I mean, we handle our business. I'm putting my business down the street. I'm putting my business down the street. But I will say, the little homie is coming to live with his pappy in about 2 weeks, so it's all
Oh.
great. Oh yeah, it's all love. So it's like
That mean we won't have Red Room Radio, Dion.
oh no, we gonna have Red
We'll
Room.
have
Listen.
We'll have
Dion don't change.
Cosby Show, Dion. Dr. Dion.
Nah. Dion don't change. Dion
Dr.
change.
Dion.
Dion don't change. But we gotta wrap this up though. So we're just gonna run around the room one time. Miss Keon, if you had children and you could afford to pay for these children, would you ask for child support?
Yes, I would. And I don't mean only in the court. Me and you gonna have a sit down and chitty chat because it took two to tango. So we're gonna both help and get this little whippersnapper together.
I know that's right. That dude, Miguel.
Yes, sir.
If you had children, what you do? You have
Once
children.
again, for the record, I would not ever, ever, never, ever take anybody to court for child support.
Well, you don't have to go to court, I said. I said if we can work it out between ourselves.
Miss Colorado.
That's me.
If
Need music.
if you had children and you and your man broke up and you could afford to take care of those children, would you ask for child support?
No, I would not. I would agree with Keon. I would not go to a court, but I would ask for assistance where needed, not just on some you need to pay, but assistance where hey, let's
You
split.
had way more than enough money. Would you ask for child support?
No,
Okay.
What about assistance? Would you ask for assistance?
I would ask for assistance.
Even though you had way more than
I would
enough
ask for assistance, but you don't. If you feel
What's the
that you
difference?
don't need
What's
to
the
give
difference? I don't understand
there
the
because there's assistance is or not even okay. Maybe that's the wrong
The
word.
question is the issue for me. Like we say you have enough money, but yet you're still gonna have a conversation about.
I'm going
what
to
you
say
should do.
right. Do you feel that you should give for your child? If you say no, then hey. If you say yes, then you do your half when you have your child, and I do my half when I have them. You don't need to give me the money. That's no, that's not what I'm asking you. Okay. But I'm asking you, would you like to participate in helping provide? And if you say yes, then hey, on your time, or if you feel you need to pick up stuff, and that's your thing. You don't have to give it to me though. And I'm not saying you have to do it, but it will be a conversation. Or, we could be talking back to school, for instance. Hey, back to school time, do you plan on buying them clothes? Now, I'm not saying you have to, just a question.
Right.
If you say yes, by all means, here's the sizes if you don't know them. But you don't have to give it to me to take care of the child.
Well, all right.
And
What
you,
say
sir?
you, sir?
I say no, ma'am. I don't want your money, honey. I ain't gonna take nothing from you.
Okay, what's if the foot was on the other shoe?
If the foot was on the other
If
shoe,
your child's mother came to you and said, "Listen, we need to talk about this child rearing thing."
listen, I would already be paying something to make sure my child has.
That's
has,
my
has
point. So it
portion.
doesn't whether you went in the court or not. There was a discussion had to
Take care of your
that you
business.
said that you're going to take care of your seed.
Take care of your business. But that's the thing. I would pay it out, but I wouldn't want it in return.
Oh.
That's just me. I
Same
wouldn't
here.
want it in return. Red Room Radio. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for being with us, listening, enjoying the show, having a good time. We had a good time.
Click the like button.
Hit the like button, leave a comment. We appreciate those things, and we
Yeah.
definitely will respond. We
Yeah.
always do. This is your boy signing off. This is Dion in the Red Room Radio. We got that dude Miguel in the house.
Miguel Washington for you newbies.
He's looking for some new baby mamas. He's
Yes,
just
sir.
trying to,
Yes, sir. Miss Washington.
We asked
So
to be
is
cut at
Milo.
home.
We have the lovely Miss Keon in the house.
I'm looking for a baby daddy.
And we have our special guest. Thank you for being here with us. You've been with us for a couple shows. We do
Yes.
appreciate it. Know you're busy.
Yes.
Thank you so much. The lovely Miss Colorado in
Beautiful.
the house.
Thanks for having me, Michael B. Jordan. You can reach me at 407. Good night, everybody.
777-93-11.
Yo, this is your boy. We're going to holler at y'all one time.
Started from the bottom, now the whole team here. Boys tell stories about the man. Say I never struggled, wasn't hungry, yeah, I